So I guess maybe we guys will go ahead and get into this thing, and maybe they'll join us. Maybe they'll join us next week after hearing what we got to say and not liking it.
That's usually how it goes.
Okay. All right. So I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and do this. Well, first of all, we're just going to go ahead and talk about relationships. I've kind of got an outline, but as usual, you guys are free to.
You get those little things on that.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But at least it'll give us a starting point. But you guys, as usual, you guys are free to kind of lead us where we might want to go. But the whole thing is we're going to be talking about relationships, and we know that there's a ton of different types of relationships: friend, family, work relationships, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be talking about the romantic relationship. Be more specific with that. So let me go ahead. Anything you guys want to mention before we kind of start recording?
I don't have anything, Pop.
Okay.
I just wish one of the girls was on here.
Me too.
I'm trying to tell you.
me too.
Oh,
Me
hey,
too.
boy.
I could give it. I could give it
We
one.
gonna sound,
I
we
could.
gonna,
I
we
could
gonna
give.
sound like a bunch of misogynists.
I tell you what. I can. We'll go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and do our little brief introduction here. Hello. Welcome to another exciting episode of DNA Hardwired. Common sense turned upside down. My name is Pop, and with me today is my co-hosts Jackie and Aaron. Alicia and Rachel, they aren't available today, so we're going to cover this. Try to do this ourselves without the ladies today. On our last episode, we continued our discussion on the generational gap thing, and we focused a lot. We focused mostly on our thoughts on the civil rights movements and the civil rights movement and the players like Martin Luther King and others in that movement. I have to be honest with you. At the conclusion of that episode, I think that we probably can all agree that the two generations before mine, my generation was the baby boomer generation, but the two generations before mine, Generation X and Generation Y, I don't think they was too impressed with the civil rights movement or integration or its leaders. I'll let them speak to that themselves. Um, as a matter of fact, they all seem to feel that maybe the civil rights movement and integration and its leaders has been bad for black folks. So again, I'll let them address that. But I'll tell you, after that last episode, I'm really convinced that there's a huge generational gap in the way those who actually went through the civil rights movement and integration in the 60s and 70s, and those who only heard about it through social media or through some other means. How we'll probably never see it the same. But anyway, before we get too deep into this next topic, you guys got any thoughts on what I just said, Jackie or Aaron?
I do. We think. Oh, we go ahead. I'm not so extreme to say that I don't believe the previous generation was just fumbled. I guess you could say race relations. And what I will say is we disagree on the method how to get there. I don't think that it's okay to ask for a God-given right. I don't think it's okay to march for a God-given right. Any movement that says that this is the way we should do it, we should be non-violent in our approach. We didn't lose our freedom on the golf course. We lose it on the baseball park. We lost it because we lost it in the field. We lost it in the street. You'll never get that back if you're not willing to take it there. But I'll land there on that.
Okay, all right.
My 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 stance on that is similar to what Aaron's saying, but I'm going to step up. But go add a little deep. I'll add another piece of that. I don't think the generations after you, pop Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, all that, are saying that civil rights era and what they was fighting for was wrong. But you can go. You if you follow the if you want to go to California and you're in Arizona, you're going to go west. What we're saying, we think the efforts was violent, but we was traveling east, trying to get to Cali. You have all the energy and the wherewithal just going about it in the wrong way. The target is off. And we have the ability to look back now and see what that has gotten us. Overall, we got more rights today, but we are still the last on the list when it comes to things that move the needle in our community. We're still last. So I digress.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like, and again, you guys can always correct me, but it does sound like maybe you guys are saying, both of you kind of are saying that you don't completely disagree with maybe the need for the movement, but it was just maybe the way we went about it. Uh, and again,
I don't think the need, the need for the movement was always there. It's still there.
Okay.
The need for the movement is still there.
Right.
And truth be told, I appreciate the ones who were willing to take it there. But when I'm having a conversation on like how I feel about it, I'm able to speak because where I can give my real opinion on it. Simply put, it's going to sound a little bit. I understand where it sounds like okay, he has no appreciation for the generation before him and the work that was put in. But truth be told, anytime you speak against that, or anytime you don't agree with that, a whole like 100%, there's no there's no middle ground that doesn't put you in an extreme category.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to take the heat that comes with your opinion. So yeah, I'm not against the Malcolm X, not against the mega Evers or disrespect their movements in any sort of way. That's never my goal. But the other side of it is we're having a conversation on on nonviolent movement.
Effectiveness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the fact that it was a nonviolent movement. And I'd much rather know that look, man, these men died as a result of actually fighting. They were willing to take it to the extreme. And these men lost their lives and they were screaming. They were screaming for peace. The outcome, they were screaming for peace in order as a way of getting there. Nonviolent movement is really the thing. If you tell me that I had a nonviolent movement, I died in one of the most violent ways ever, then my nonviolent.
Well, I guess again, having lived through that myself personally, you would have had to have been there and went through that experience yourself, so that you'd have a better appreciation of the choices that we saw at that time. And again, I understand, looking back through history, like right now, what we're going through now with President Trump and this present Republican administration, the things that we're going through now, there's no doubt in my mind that 10, 15, 20, 100 years from now, there's going to be people looking back at this time that were the things that we're going through right now, and they're going to have a different opinion on how we should be dealing with this situation now. And who knows? I mean, maybe their opinion or their thoughts on it may have worked better than what we're doing right now. Uh, so I get that. But I guess that's about the only thing I can say that. And I appreciate you guys' opinions on it and you voicing your thoughts. And there's no doubt in my mind you guys aren't alone, in what your thoughts and what you're saying. So what we're gonna on this episode, this is going to be another. This is going to be another topic where I'm sure we're going to have some varying opinions because we've talked about this subject in the past. And what we're going to talk about this next 45 minutes to an hour or so, we're going to talk about relationships. And as you know, there are many different types of relationships. You know, there's work relationships, there's neighbor relationships, there's friendships, you know, and there's romantic relationships, and that's what we're going to spend a little time talking about today is romantic relationships. Um, and what that entails. And I really wish the two ladies was available today because we can really use their input. So maybe we'll be able to continue this next week on the next episode because I'm pretty sure we're not going to cover everything today. And then maybe we can get their perspective on things. Any initial thoughts, guys? I've got a little outline we're going to look at, but any initial thoughts on the romantic relationships?
I think they're done. I think there's this divide between men and women, especially in our community. I think they're done.
You said you think they're done?
I think they're done.
Okay.
Now, and with me saying that, I just found out yesterday that marriage rates in the black community are up. They're up. The number of black people getting married right now is tweaked up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not quite sure, who's getting married. Because what I'm seeing is that's not happening. So.
Okay.
So I need access to that study.
Yeah, exactly. I just found that out. I think yesterday before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Now, who's researching that?
Yeah.
So is that research from a courthouse, or from people who have access to court records, or
I'm sure. I'm sure those statistics, because I've got some statistics here too, and I'm sure that a lot of it is coming from official means, uh, and so. But anyway, we'll get into that. A lot of this stuff that we're talking about. Oh, hold up a second. Alicia's called me, so let me see if I can go ahead and merge Alicia in here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get her in here. Okay, Alicia, you there, girl?
I'm so sorry. I did not see y'all call me.
Hey, no problem. We're just now getting into this thing. Aaron and Jackie, you guys are you on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
Okay, good, great. That was man. We're getting pretty good at this technological thing. It merged right on in there, Alicia. So good. We just got started, and Jackie and Aaron had given their feelings, initial thoughts on the romantic relationships. That's what we're covering today. We've already agreed that there's many different types of relationships, work relationships, friend relationships, family relationships. There's all different kind of relationships, but we're going to specifically talk about romantic relationships. And both Aaron, I'm thinking, and they can correct me if they're wrong, I think that their opinion is that romantic relationships, for the most part, are not doing all that well. I guess that's the way I could say it. But brother Jack had said that he had just yesterday, I think it was, he saw a statistic where it appeared that at least among black couples, the number of marriages was increased. So let's just get your initial thoughts on about romantic relationships. Just your initial thoughts. And if you're not ready, we can get.
No, I am ready.
Okay.
You say just you talking about natural? I mean, just generally.
Yeah, just generally. However you. When I asked the question, Alicia, what are your thoughts on romantic relationships today? Just wherever you want to go with that.
yeah. That question is not as limited as you.
Right. I got you. I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
okay. So we'll kind of get into it a little bit more then. Like I told Jackie and
Okay,
Aaron, I do have a kind of an outline that we'll at least start with. And so
okay.
and so I like to you as you know I like to get into definitions and all the rest of that crazy stuff. But when we're normally a romantic relationship, and I think we'll agree on this. Normally, a romantic relationship, normally it starts with a dating relationship, and a dating relationship is basically defined as that stage in the romantic relationship where two people uh, meet, generally with the aim of each assessing what the other's suitability is as a prospective partner in a close intimate relationship. So romantic relationships typically start with a dating relationship, and basically that's the first stage in this romantic relationship. And basically, that stage is designed to try to see, if we're gonna be able to make it together. And usually, that dating part of the relationship involves courtship, social activities, done by the couple. And that involves a lot of different types of activities. In the U.S., about 40%, and I just looked these statistics up, about 40% of all adults, and this is including those divorced or widowed, are considered single. So about 40% of all adults, including those divorced or widowed, are considered single. While there's about 25% of 40-year-olds or older have never been married, right? About 25 to 40%. Excuse me, I didn't say many older, I meant younger. About 25% of 40-year-olds and younger have never been married. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, among 40-year-olds, men are more likely than women to have never been married, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Among 40-year-olds specifically, men are more likely than women to have never been married, with 28% of 40-year-old men and 22% of 40-year-old women remaining unwed. So those are just some statistics to start with. So I guess your initial thoughts on dating, initial thoughts on who's single, and that sort of thing. Any initial thoughts on that, guys?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Initial thoughts for me would simply be like, I just don't. Okay, men in particular are not the type of group that you can give information to. They ignore it. As it pertains to relationships, the the ideology of a good woman is becoming less and less prevalent and less American. The last time I've heard a man brag on the relationship that he has, man, I can't remember it. Like everybody has an idea of, like, man, these are crazy times out here, boy. You just can't be bragging because that's usually the sign of a real big fool. When you start seeing the appreciation of it go away, you can predict almost to the day of when this will no longer be relevant
You you
for
you
whatever reason.
you pointed out something, Aaron, that I think is key. Also, you made the statement, and I think this applies to both men and women. But I think I heard you say something about a good woman. Did you say something about a good woman?
Yes.
Okay, do me a favor, if you could, you and Jackie. What would be your definition? What would a good woman look like to you? What are some of the qualities or characteristics of a good woman for you today?
In this day and age, we will start with non-sexually promiscuous.
Now
The
repeat that
reason why
again,
we
brother
start
Aaron.
that is
Uh,
because
repeat that
I,
again, Aaron.
but that's a lie. It's too many women in this world to say that good women don't exist.
You can't push back. You can't push back. Papa asked Aaron what his plan is. You got to give it. You got to be able to get that out without any pushback.
And then you can respond after he gets it out,
Yeah.
Alicia. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I thought he stopped.
Believe me, I know Alicia ain't gonna agree with it. But that term will start with non-sexually.
Non-sexually. Now I'm missing it, brother. Are you saying that they're not sexually active? Is that what you're?
Promiscuous.
Oh, I got you. I got
No,
you.
what I'm saying
That,
is they're promiscuous.
all right, no. So let's focus in on what you're saying now. Are you saying that they can't be sexually active at all, or they just can't be promiscuous with it?
If I walk in a room and more than 4 guys in there, like we have the same understanding of the woman that I'm with, I'm no longer impressed by that woman.
Okay, I get you. So she's promiscuous.
I want something that very few men.
It's not that she's not. It's not that it's not that she's with one guy and she's been with that one guy a while and they're having sexual activities, versus she's with multiple guys and having sexual activities with multiple guys. In other words, on one hand she's promiscuous.
Absolutely.
I got you now. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But if we start there,
Okay.
we would disqualify almost 80-90% of women.
Okay.
Because truth be told, it's the reason why you like body count is a real conversation for men, and it's one of those conversations that women want to get completely away from.
Right.
Because once I see how you handled your body, I know how serious it takes.
You know how what? Say that again.
How serious it takes you. If you ain't took it serious, ain't nowhere in the world I'm finna bank on my whole future on you being different with me. Like that's the ideology of stupidity.
Okay. So the first thing you would look for, Aaron, is whether or not she's sexually promiscuous or not. That's the first thing you would look for. Anything else as far as a good woman for you?
Be totally honest with you. If you find one that doesn't have that, you're usually able to find all of the other characteristics to go into it.
Okay.
Funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing. So that woman is not sexually promiscuous. She's gonna take the time to understand you, learn you, be there for you.
So what are some of the other qualities then, Jackie? What are some of the other qualities you would look for?
Number one, does she rock with you? Does she rock? Is she peaceful? Too many women are not peaceful. Too many women start listening, hearing you say something that they don't like, and all of a sudden their mouth flies off. Instead of learning or asking where that's coming from, trying to figure out where that's coming from, and get triggered.
You know what? I tell you what, Jackie. I tell you what, brother. I tell you what, brother. You hit on something I never heard before, but I agree with you. That peaceful peace. I never thought about that before, but I have to admit that that's a good quality we need to look for today, and sometimes we don't find that. But I'm sorry. Keep going.
I don't think speaking of that peaceful piece of it, I don't think women fully understand how important peace is to a man. And I mean all men. It ain't my man, your man, his man, that man. No. All men, for the most part, want some level of peace. And so I don't think women understand that a lot of times women don't bring that peace. They're so chaotic in their damn head, they think we're just as chaotic. So that causes a problem in their relationship. And I remember about 10 years ago having a conversation with a friend, the girl I was dating. I had a conversation with her mother. And she had told me that her mother had told her, when your daddy gets home, I don't talk to him for the first hour. He goes in the room, changes clothes, takes a shower, does whatever. But I don't bombard him with anything for that first hour. Let him settle his mind down. That's not something that goes on every day in most households. And I've been married 3 times. That's not something that happens. Absolutely not. It means you just do it. It's boom, 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 boom.
And I can guarantee you that man earned that right to come in his house for an hour and not be bothered.
No, he should get that by the fact that he's a man. Period.
No, that's the lie. You want peace, you bring peace. You can't tell a woman you're not bringing peace if you bring in hell.
Not.
And you
Most
want peace. That don't work like
bring
that.
peace. Most women don't bring peace.
That's a lie. That's the lie because y'all
You
be
don't
so
break
chaotic, and this is y'all be attracting what's in you, and y'all want to blame the woman for it.
Don't deal with
You
the man that
attract
bring
the
the chaos.
bullshit that's in you, and y'all mad with the woman. No, nigga, y'all need to turn the camera around.
Hold on. I'm not bad with no woman. Like, to be totally honest with you, we've done away with that. Like, here's the thing. It's not like if I decided to be done with relationships or participate in relationships, simply put, anything's going to change. If I don't participate, nothing's going to change. So if I choose not to deal with it, then simply put, man, it's not that I proved peace. Just simply put, she was never there. There's no such thing as a woman who's naturally peaceful. So to say that you have to bring that out of her is the biggest lie ever.
Thank you.
You've never known a time, and if you ask a woman, give me two women that you know that are naturally peaceful, they use it in the conversation. You can't really participate in that.
I know plenty of women that's peaceful. What are y'all talking about?
Okay.
Right, peaceful to you.
Okay. So let's go ahead.
Plenty of women that's peaceful.
So let's go ahead.
Men don't leave peaceful women.
Let's go ahead and give.
It's like y'all be talking about a woman body count. Y'all be want what y'all can't.
Men don't leave.
Y'all want what y'all can't even bring to the table.
Let's go ahead and give Alicia.
Truth be told.
Let's give Alicia a chance. Let's give Alicia a chance to respond. And Alicia, I will agree with one of the things I think I heard you say. Just to start with, I think men need to come peaceful too. But go ahead, Alicia.
Let me say this. When people start fixing and turn that mirror around and fix and correct themselves, you no longer attract. You first of all, you no longer attract that bull crap to you. I'm a witness of that. I know that to be so. When the things that you fix within yourself, we be so chaotic, and when we go attract it, we want to turn around and fault the other person, and that's not true. We can't say out of the millions of women in this world that all these millions of women are some of these women. Some of these women are not wife material. That's the bull crap. And then the thing is, when it comes down to man, how you want from a woman what you cannot give to her? Y'all tell me you want a woman with a low body count, but y'all can't give it to her. But you can't give it to her.
Not to give her
a
peace.
woman has to bring her own peace. A woman has to bring her own peace. A woman has to bring her own peace.
And that's what we're saying. Most women don't bring their own peace.
That's the bull crap. So therefore, if you're attracting it, what hell is in you?
I would
what
have a conversation if you dated women, but since you don't date women,
I'm a woman. You can't tell me much about a woman. I don't play game.
We date women.
That's just like you trying to tell y'all about game with a man. Come on now.
Alicia, it's funny that you mentioned to me that you're peaceful. As your brother, I can tell you that's not.
You're not.
Aaron,
As your brother, you're not.
You tell me what I'm not. I'm cool with that. I don't have to date y'all. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to date y'all. So the thing is this: you can't tell me what I'm like because your version of me is a sister, not a woman.
That's why we can tell you. That's why we can tell you. That's why we can tell you because we're your brother.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes,
absolutely not. And I can tell you, you don't bring freaking peace to a woman to consider and think you qualified enough to have a wife. To think you qualified enough.
The burden of a man or a husband is not to bring peace to the woman. The burden of the man is to provide and protect. It's provide and protect. It's not being peaceful. Most men are not. Most men bring. Hold on, listen. Most men bring calm to the situation, but to bring calm, you got to sometimes tear some shit up.
Hey, listen. When you come down to a man who don't read his word, telling me what it looks like, that's the problem.
I'm not trying to hear this conversation about the body.
You can't tell me what you're trying to do. No. You can't tell me what you have. You can't tell me what you're not.
You got more divorces in church.
That's a lie. You got more divorces in the military. You got more divorces in the military. Okay.
That's 50%. We got a 50% divorce rate in this country. You mean to tell me the church got a 20% divorce rate?
Hey, I said you can't tell me nothing about the church when you talk about the military when they divorce rate just as high. Okay. The thing is,
we already know about the military rate is high.
My point is, them niggas be ready to marry for only benefits and not for the right reason.
Most of the women be willing to do that. The men ain't. The women be willing to marry for the benefit.
The niggas that I met over in the military, they ready to marry you without even.
A man don't get a benefit. A man, I've been in the military. Pop been in the military. A man don't get too much of a benefit by being married in the military. You get a little bit of BS, a little bit of BS. Hold on.
Guess what?
Hold on.
The man that I met in the military ready to make me a wife.
Hold on, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Pop. Right. Pop. How many, when you was in younger, how many of those women back then got married for them benefits?
Well, I'll tell you guys, it's been interesting to listen to, and you guys are siblings. You guys are siblings. But it's been interesting to listen at the male siblings' point of view versus the female's point of view as far as relationships, dating, and women versus men. Seems like everybody's got their own perspective. Seems like everybody's got their own perspective as far as how they see that other party. And I think this is part of our problem. I think that we need to start putting ourselves in that other person's shoes. I think more so.
Men have done that. Men are the first one to do that. Men have taken the time over the years to understand women. That's why That's why most of the
they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
This is part of the problem.
You don't get to have multiple of them, and you don't understand.
Yeah.
So what?
You don't get to have multiple of them, and you don't understand.
Multiple? I hear you. Somebody cut out.
You don't get to have multiple women at any point in time in your life, and you don't understand.
And don't understand women.
Y'all do it every day. What are you talking about? Y'all do it every day.
You just made my point.
You're making a point. You're making a point in the sense that simply put, I can tell you within 5 minutes of me meeting a woman what my future for her is. Thank you.
Aaron, listen.
The moment you start talking, I can tell you.
I'm good. I'm good with the opinion. Who can't tell me how it's supposed to be versus from how you feel how it's supposed to be. Okay, because it's not about based on how you feel. Because marriage was never even created based on how you feel. Marriage was never created for that.
What are we talking about?
When you have this conversation about marriage,
I'm not sure what you're saying.
You have to understand the purpose of why marriage was. Why God created marriage.
That's moving the needle. We're not talking about that. We're talking about
you can't talk about marriage. You can't tell me why God created marriage.
God never created marriage.
Well, let me jump in here.
Begins and ends in a marriage. So how God didn't do it?
Let me jump in here. Oh, let me jump in here. Let me jump in here. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. Let me jump in here. Let me jump in here real quick. Hey, let me jump in here real quick because you guys are touching on the next thing that I was going to talk about, which kind of deals with, why do people get involved in dating relationships? What are we getting involved for? And so I just want to touch on that real quick, and we'll go ahead and continue. One of the reasons, or you tell me, what are some of the reasons you think people date? Why do men and women date?
I think it's companionship.
Oh man, damn man, that was the first one that was the first one I got, Brother Aaron, was companionship. That was the first one I got. But so yeah, that's one of the reasons that people date is companionship. What's some other reasons?
Sexual access.
What was that again, brother?
Sexual access.
Oh yes, sex is on the list. Sex is on the list, and we got to keep in mind that sometimes people date for a multitude of reasons, more than one of these reasons, and then some of them they only date for one of these reasons, maybe two. But anyway, so they date for companionship, they date for sex. What are some of the other reasons?
We'll be told they better be it. If they're doing it wrong.
You can date. I mean, you can hear people say they're not dating. They're getting to know each other, but that's that casual dating, casual sex relationship, i.e., situationship. But most people are not. Most people are not moving with intention when it comes to dating. Most people just dating. They just hooking up.
Well, they may not think about it, and I agree with you. They probably don't think about it and lay it out like we're trying to do right now today. But I guarantee you, these reasons are the reasons that they're dating. Though it may be one of these reasons, it may be a month. So like Aaron said right off from the gate. Some people are dating just because they're looking for companionship. Then some people are dating because they
Right,
just
because
looking to knock them knees. They looking for the sex part of it, And then
here's the thing, right?
go ahead.
If we start biblical with this conversation, there's no such thing as a wife that's not a virgin. Why do you think that is?
That's a lie.
What you mean, Liz?
Where?
How's that lie? How's that lie?
I wish you would debate that. I wish you would debate that.
Now, did you understand what he was saying, Alicia? Do me a favor, Alicia. Tell me what you think Aaron just said.
Oh, no, I didn't hear what Aaron said.
Oh, could you tell her what you said, Aaron? Because she said that was a lie.
I said that.
No, when he said, no, I heard that part
first.
that I called. I'm sorry.
But you said that was a lie. What part of that do you think was a lie?
That the fact that a woman wasn't called to be a wife because she wasn't a virgin. There are stories in the Bible that goes against that.
Like which one?
Gomer, Gomer. Go read about her.
She was a non-virgin and became a wife.
She was not a virgin.
Right, that's what I mean.
And what about the woman who was promiscuous?
Did God deem her to be a wife?
She was called to be a wife, even outside of her being God.
When? So who? A wife to
God.
who?
To the man that God called her to be a wife to.
Right, but who was she a wife to? Who did she become a wife
to? Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
Hosea was called to be a husband to a hoe. Okay? And guess what? Even while she was, and guess what? Even while she was still running around, God still told him to stay there. And he still couldn't even go out of his marriage and do what he wanted to do because she was doing what she wanted to do.
While we question the book now.
Yeah.
Here's
here's the thing though. So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing though.
The book is a lie, right?
Here's the thing though, guys. Let's try not to get into the Bible and what's saying in there because a lot of different interpretations there. Let's try to talk about what we think and what we feel. That's what I'm more interested in.
That's where we go wrong. We can never go off of how we feel when it comes down to the word. If our feelings don't align up with the word of God, then we're already out of alignment.
Well then, Alicia, I hate to tell you this, baby. I hate to tell you this. We're all out of alignment, and guess what else? We will always be out of alignment. Because you can't get away. You can't get. No, let me finish. You can't get away from the way you feel. Okay.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
How can you not get away with the way you feel when the word tells
because
you to feel your flesh?
That's not the way we're made up. Feelings. No, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. But feelings. No. Feelings are part of human nature. It's who we are. We have feelings. You can't get away from that. So, but anyway, to try to get back on track here. So I asked a question about different reasons why we date. And I'm thinking one of the ultimate reasons that we date is we're looking for somebody for marriage. I think that a lot of us ultimately, a lot of us are we're trying to find that person who we might want to, we may want to marry. And there's a lot of different qualities that we're going to be looking for when we're doing that. But I think one of the problems that we have when we date is we don't decide on why we're dating. I think that's one of the biggest problems we have is that there's no agreement between the two people. Like, for example, I'm just going to use this as an example. I think it's more likely that maybe a man might be looking for a woman, maybe for fun, for sex, that type of thing. And a woman might be looking for a man more for something that's more like marriage. And if we don't agree on what we're looking for kind of early on, not necessarily the first meeting or the first week or whatever, but at some point early on in that dating relationship, I think we need to come to an agreement as far as what we're looking for in that relationship. And I think a lot of times that's why relationships fail, because the two people that are involved in that relationship, one's looking for one thing and another one's looking for something else. Okay, so I think early on in this dating process, this romantic relationship process, we need to together figure out, okay, well, what are we looking for in each other? Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that is one of the bigger issues I would say. Like nobody has an idea of what's the desired outcome of this situation.
Uh-huh.
Like I meet a lot of women today that say, I'm dating to be married. Truth be
Right.
told, everyone that I've heard say that, like had I met you 10 years ago, I probably would have considered it.
Okay.
But I'm not looking to marry some 35, 40-year-old woman at this point in my life. Like it's just that would be perfectly pointless. Like I'm legitimately stealing from my child to do that.
What?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And no, but guess what? That's a lot of men. That's a lot of men's thoughts right now. That's a lot of men's thoughts right there. And hit the nail.
That's a lot of men who have no freaking discipline at all.
Him not getting mad has nothing to do with discipline. He said, I'm not marrying a 35-year-old woman.
Actually, hold on. That's
y'all love talking about 35 or 40-year-old women, but y'all are 40 years old and above that say that it's an issue for a woman. The thing is this, y'all gotta stop taking the focus off of a woman and focus completely on yourself, fixing what's in your community on your side.
Not marrying me.
Thank
Even
you.
after I fix me, I'm still going.
Well, guess what? What makes you think a 20-something-year-old woman is gonna want to deal with that bull? Like, be real.
What's a 20-year-old woman?
What's so magic about? Okay, so let me ask y'all both a question. What's so magic about y'all that makes a woman, a younger version of a woman that wants to be? Because let's be real, older men are wrapped in their ways. They're wrapped in their ways.
Let me say this.
Right, they were always there. And if you're not good enough to get him to change that, simply put, it shows that it's a problem that he sees there. Men are willing to change for the right woman. They're only willing to change for one.
No, I've been a 20-year-old girl who was asked to be married by a 50-something-year-old man. Okay, I've been a 20-year-old girl to be asked to be married by a 20-something-year-old man. And I can also tell you what the mistake I would have made by marrying that 50-something-year-old man, because he thought just like y'all are thinking.
You probably would be financially secure by the time that ended as you married that 50-year-old man.
And that's the only reason why I want to marry somebody. So that's the only reason why I want to marry.
Men okay.
So yeah,
men are okay with understanding that him being an older man. Typically, he's okay with that woman. He understands that woman is there for the most part for financial security. He's okay with that. See, y'all
for his own
listen, I don't care what it is. It don't matter. He has the option to do that. See, a 50-year-old man, he can date a 65-year-old woman and a 35-year-old woman. A 50-year-old woman, she's out the game. A 35-year-old woman can't really do that. See, y'all hate that fact right there. Men can go up and go down. Most women can't do it.
That's a lie to tell. That's a lie to tell.
Hey guys,
that's a lie every day.
Guys. So time out. So you guys, you just touched on another part of the lesson plan, another part of the lesson plan here, Jackie. You just hit on another part of it, which is the first stage in dating is the attraction stage. So when we're talking about attraction, what we're looking at, what are some reasons that people are attracted to certain people? I heard Jack, I think I heard you say something about for financial reasons. Sometimes we'll look at women, especially if they're a certain age group, they may be looking for financial security. But what are some other things that attract people to dating other people?
Number one is go ahead. You jumping?
Everybody's looking for something.
Right.
Or you're not gonna. You can't say that a woman is with a man for no reason.
Right.
At this point, for me, it's simple companionship. it's never going to be anything. The worst thing I could do to my kid right now at 41 years old, find somebody to marry, make him negotiate with what's rightfully his of mine at my time of death. That's why I say I'm selfish. The level of discipline that goes into that, I understand for a woman, is incomprehensible because most women see themselves as saviors of men. Most women see themselves as women that really bring something to them. Like they think there's a value in having someone to come home to. And what men have been saying for the longest is that that's not what makes you valuable. That's not what makes you irreplaceable. So while we're having the conversation of blame or who's at fault, let's also include that level of, hey, what do I want at 5:30 when I walk in? If it's that peace, give him that peace. Likewise, if it's that peace, her, give her that peace. Give her that space. But to think that he doesn't want some level of financial security as a result is absolutely stupidity. Because no woman today is walking into a relationship saying, you know what, man, I'm gonna just ride it out with this broke guy.
Mm-mm.
So, and I think that,
They only choose broke guys.
and I think that,
So as many women in the world, not one woman say that they'll ride it out with a man.
It don't have to be all, Alicia. Stop that.
what was that?
Everything has to apply to
You don't
everybody.
get the chance to
But
tell me
I
stop
didn't-
Here's my
that.
thing.
No, you stop
Here's
that.
my
You don't
thing.
get the chance
Here's
to
my
tell me
thing.
stop
What
that.
did Alicia? I didn't hear what I didn't hear what Alicia had said. What did Alicia say? I didn't hear what she had
Hold on,
said.
give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
He don't get the chance to tell me stop that when he going on about it. And he's speaking his out how he personally feels.
No, I'm talking about the disingenuous question that all women ask. Like it has to apply to everybody on the face of the planet for it to apply.
But y'all go off y'all own personal experience and apply it to you every day.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're talking in general. We're talking in general here.
But we're talking about two men who just said that there's no wives on this planet.
I didn't say that.
There is.
I didn't say there's no wife.
What I'm saying is, we're going to have a conversation about 6% of the population and 94% of the population. Because I can waste time talking with you about 6%, and 6% says that, yeah, not every woman is like that. I can have a conversation with you about the 94%, which simply put means that if 10 women are in the room, 9.5 of them may be full of shit. And to ask me to go to always believe that needle in the haystack is there, and I'm gonna actually apply that to my everyday movement. Like truth be told, needle in the haystack stick out so well, you already know what it is when you see it. Most likely she ain't available because I don't think there was ever a time in history where men were leaving good women. So by the time she's 40, I'm 40 now. By the time she's available to me, truth be told, she's most likely not available. She's just in my path. She's not available.
And you know, we touched on this earlier when we were talking about what's a eligible woman. I think it was we started talking about eligible. What's an eligible woman? But let me ask Alicia. Alicia, what do you think what are some qualities of an eligible man?
First, a man that hears from God, a man that allows to be led by God, because in the household it's God, man, then woman. Two, a man that's understanding, a man that's caring, a man that listens, and a provider.
You know that's in there, don't we?
What was that again, Jackie?
I said we know that's in there. That's always in the
Of course, that's in there. That's how it's supposed to be.
All right. A top three. So when that man is a provider, don't get upset because he got options up and down.
So you can't tell me and him ask me a question.
Yeah,
No, that's the thing that you think I'm mad about. No, that's a lie that you've been told. That's a lie that you're told yourself.
We could debate this to hell freeze over the numbers.
Thank you. The numbers speak for themselves.
We can go back.
When the enemy is at work, so far, yeah, the enemy may be winning, but the enemy is winning in every household. The enemy is winning in every household.
The enemy was at work. The enemy was at work when black marriages was at 80% rate in this country. So the enemy was still at work then. Then we still got married. I don't want to hear that. The enemy was at work.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Until men fix themselves, they need to shut up complaining about a woman. When a man brings
It,
any type of bull crap to the table, anything, the same thing when it comes down to a woman, the complaining needs to be stopped
no, we
from
not gonna
both.
stop.
This ain't
It,
just one or two.
we,
This comes from both, from man and woman.
why is this?
Until you look
We
in the
let
mirror, no, until you bowing your face to God, prayer and fasting, because some things are only kids. No, you don't get the chance to tell me to be quiet when I don't listen to you.
you ain't listening to me.
No, I heard everything
You ain't
you said.
listening at
I heard
all.
everything you said. I heard everything that you said.
You cut off everything that's there.
You
No,
ain't gonna tell
no,
me that
I didn't
you,
cut it off.
hey,
I disagree.
nobody, no one, no person is gonna tell me that all my fixes are come from praying to God. Al, you lying to me? Absolutely not.
You said what now,
That's
Jack?
not the
Say
fix.
it one more
Ain't,
time.
I said no one's gonna tell me that all my fixes is gonna come from praying to God. Absolutely not.
I ain't never had a woman that had a
I
bill.
got a question. Are you praying to God and God is answering you? Let me ask you that.
I ain't praying to nobody.
What I'm
My
saying
point,
is,
y'all.
never heard any woman who needs a hospital tomorrow say, let's
Hold on, Aaron. I can't say that one more time because I would love to hear what you're saying.
I ain't never heard no woman who needed her light bill paid tomorrow say, let's pray about it.
And we're talking about women who willingly sacrifice themselves for a temporary satisfaction, but I'm not talking about those.
Every one of them needed results right now. They wasn't praying no more.
Hey, Pop,
they wasn't needed what there?
I said women.
They was all prayed out, but
that's the lie. You never all prayed out. You praying to God,
So-
God don't answer you. Y'all, women love to blame God. I ain't knocking that. Women love to blame God. We're talking about women blaming God, but we talking about, y'all, we can't address one without addressing both.
So here we go. Now remember, a few episodes ago, we talked a little bit about religion. We probably need to get back on that, but we kind of mixing. It's fruit, but we kind of mixing apples, oranges, and bananas and stuff. Let's try to stick to this relationship thing. Let's try to stick to the dating thing. Now, Alicia, I do want to talk to a little bit about what you're talking about as far as religion. I don't want to get too deep into it though. But I hope you realize that there are people that are in the church. They're strongly in the church, and they pray to God, but their marriages fail. So we just can't always look to that. You follow what I'm saying?
right.
But a lot of women, a lot of women got married men that God never told them to marry.
Well, see,
but that
so
doesn't mean God is.
We're not gonna
No. But that doesn't mean God can't. God isn't on a covenant because God still gives us free will. So even when some of these women who choose a man, God never told them to date them anyway. And then guess what? They want to fault the man for disruption. They want to fault the man for not having peace. That the same thing I'm saying applying to men is applying to women too. I never said one, but I'm putting one man in the box. Just go for both. A woman can't say that hell causing her life, but she don't have some of this. That's why I said we have to turn the mirror around on ourselves. I'm speaking from the hell that I've caused. I'm speaking from mistakes that I've made. I'm speaking from mistakes that I've known other women to make as well. I'm talking about the women who never held themselves accountable. I'm not that woman anymore. I hold myself accountable for anything that happens to me in my life today.
All I'm saying is, there's a good woman in the living room. And if she asks for the light bill on Thursday, because the lights off on Friday, they ain't gonna pray on Thursday. It's gonna ask me.
Well, the thing is, the Bible when you say in prayer before you in a situation, the thing is God to prepare you. But there's the thing is sometimes men jump in the way or women jump in the way to help people that God was intending to teach them a lesson. So y'all, they don't go like that for just one person.
I'll tell you, this is a whole different discussion, a whole different topic. We're back on religion again. We're back on God and the role that God plays in our lives or God doesn't play in our life. I'm talking about, and Alicia, you're not going to agree with this, and that's okay. But I'm talking about something that we know, that we should know. I'm talking about something that's more tangible, something that we can grab onto. I'm talking about something that we can do something about or we can't do something about. That's what I'm talking about now with this relationship thing. And maybe that's a big part of our problem. maybe we're relying on somebody, God or somebody else, to tell us what to do instead of doing what we need to do. Maybe that's something we might need to talk about. I don't know. Because what Aaron was saying. Let me finish for a second. Because what Aaron was saying, just listen to what he is saying. He's saying that if in real life, in our real life, if your rent is due, okay, if your rent's due on Friday, and let's say you've been praying all along, but your rent's still due on Friday. I'm telling you, me personally, and I believe there's a God. I do believe there's a God. But if your rent's due on Friday, I don't think all the praying in the world. This is just me. This has been me. I could be wrong. I don't think all the praying in the world is going to pay your rent.
Matter of fact, it ain't.
I don't believe it because I think people have been doing that forever. They've been praying for these things to happen, and if they're not doing nothing, to get that rent paid, it ain't gonna get paid. That's just facts. And I think that's all Aaron was trying to say, and that's all I'm trying to say with this presentation, this episode is I want us to take more control of our relationships. And the best way we can do that is try to understand what's involved when we're talking about relationships. That's why I tried to outline, that dating is the first step in a romantic relationship and what's involved in that. Some of the things we need to be aware of, like, what attracts us to a particular person, because that was one of the last things we were talking about was some of the things that attract that attract us to other people. See, so as long as we're talking about the Bible and what's in the scripture and how people might interpret it, we're never going to get anywhere. So we got off of relationships, and maybe this is why we're gonna have issues with this relationship. Maybe this is why men and women, we're always gonna have problems. We can't focus.
Well, here we go.
Yeah. We need to try to focus on those things that we can control, and stop trying to mess with those things that we have no control over. Let's just try to focus.
And what exactly do we not have control over, Pop?
What you're talking about?
No,
you don't have. Let me finish. I'm gonna answer her question. No, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish her question. I'm gonna finish your question. What you don't have control over, if you do it the way you're doing it, is your rent getting paid on Friday, like Aaron said. If all you're gonna do, let me finish. Let me finish, baby. Let me finish. If all you're gonna do is pray on it, and you're not gonna put the work in and do what needs to be done, your rent ain't gonna get paid on Friday. Versus, listen at me now. Listen at me. Versus not praying and doing what you need to do to get your rent paid on Friday. And what you're saying is true to a large degree. A lot of times we're limited in our thinking, and what you're doing right now, Aaron, is you're trying to get us to expand our way of thinking about things. A lot, like you just said, it's not as simple as, yeah, my house is paid off, I'm done now. You're absolutely right. You got other things you got to be concerned with.
No, Pop. That wasn't for you.
Oh, no. It's for all of us. No, I get it. No, brother, I get it. I get what you're saying. It's for all of us. But it was for me. It was for me. It's for all of us. I get it.
For Alicia to understand that, hey, that man still has to get up and go and figure it out.
Yes. I have to do it.
He can fuck around and keep praying if he wants to.
Look, we need to be real with this. And I didn't want to get back into this Bible thing until we're ready for it. But we need to be real with this. It's great to believe in God. It's great to believe in the Bible. It's great to go to church. It's great to pray. It's great to do all those things. But in the bottom, you can do all of that. And if you don't do what you need to do, it ain't going to get done. That's all we're saying. There's things that you're going to have to do, or otherwise it's not going to get done. But anyway, we need to bring this session to a close. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys one last chance to go ahead and say anything else, any last minute words, and then we'll go ahead and close this thing out. I don't know. Maybe we need to talk about religion again, because it seems like it's still there. But I know it's never going to end, because everybody's still going to end up with their opinions, even after we have the discussion. Just like this thing with relationships. is never going to end because we're always going to have different opinions. But it's good to bring those opinions out, and along the way, we'll bring out some stuff that might be helpful. But let's go with you, brother Jackie. Let you go ahead and say any last words you got to say here.
This conversation started out it was about relationships.
Yes.
It was about the relationship conversation.
Yeah.
There are certain traits that classify, going back to the question you asked, that classifies each individual as a good person. What a good woman is, because we didn't finish that conversation. There are certain traits that you can put a bunch of good women together, and they're similar in their nature. They're similar in nature. They are very similar. So there's some foundational traits that all good women have. And to think that the mindset that I'm starting to see with women in our community, you can go out there and do what you wanted to do in them 20s, them late teens, them 20s and 30s, and all of a sudden at 40 you expect that you're supposed to give a man as a soft place to land. Men are not falling for that bullshit. It's 2026, they're not falling for it. When you was up in the casino, you didn't cash out. So you got to deal with the consequence of staying in that casino, and when no one is checking for you. So my suggestion would be to women: get out the casino while you up.
No, suggest it only to men. You don't need your opinion.
This is my statement. I didn't ask you for your point. This is mine.
Okay.
Go get yours in a second.
My bad.
So men, my conversation to men, bro, get on your purpose. P-O-P. Purpose over, and y'all can figure out what the last P stands for. Y'all get the point. Focus on your purpose. And if you want to get married, you'll meet someone along that journey. Rock with who want to rock with you. Now, stay and try to convince a woman to be with you, convince women that you're something and you're this, you're that. Nah, bro. And do not deal with combative ass women. That's what started to show up in our community. Stop dealing with combative ass women. I'm done.
Okay, good points. All right, brother Aaron.
Truth be told, I initially hearing the topic, I wasn't really interested. But hearing Alicia, I love hearing now. I've come to a point where I do respect the grievances that women mention. Right? All at the same time, once I've figured out your grievance and we still have an issue, problem is no longer me. If I'm checking every box and you're still finding a way to basically move the goalposts, and simply put, you're going to take the joy out of this relationship. Because at some point, you have to establish what a win is before you actually start winning. So the worst thing you can do is figure out if you won while still playing the game. Okay. That's what Jackie means by get out the casino early. That's my last.
Okay, all good points. Thanks, brother Aaron. Alicia, your last final words?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, babe, you go ahead.
I don't know if I just really have anything to end out on it. I just say, I'm gonna say this. I don't believe if a man is out of his word, I don't believe in listening to it. But if a man is walking with God, I say definitely take his opinion. Unless, you're in a situation like myself where I can call my brothers and get advice and trust, because I can trust them to a high degree about personal fields, because I know they're gonna give me honesty and transparency. But I also say when listening to taking advice, also apply it to the word of God, and that's it.
Hold on, Pop. Give me just a second. You just said listen to me. You just said listen to Jackie. And then you argue with me and Jackie the whole conversation.
No, I still say that because I say you guys do not read, y'all not in your word. I also said apply the word of God when you're taking advice as well.
Okay. So you this. Let me ask you a more personal question.
Yes.
You know I went to Sunday. I went to church every Sunday you went, right?
Absolutely.
You understand, in order for me to believe something different now, I had to find some information that was just as astonishing as when I found out Christ was real.
So when actually what now?
In order to not have the same feeling today that I had as a kid, do you understand that I would have had to find something that's just as profound as I thought I was finding out when I was into religion?
I don't.
Gotcha.
And the thing is this, it's not a problem because the thing is this, you ever thought that was a lesson that was meant for you to learn? For you to even be able to say, hey, that ain't right, or be able to say, hey, I've experienced this, to know that something is off with this. I'd be like, yo, or come in a room and be like, yo, I could tell that this person is off because of the way that they speak or because of the way that they act. That's not a self thing. That's just like the thing is, Miles Monroe said we were already the finished product when we were given to our parents as babies. We were the finished product as adults when we were given to our parents as babies.
I don't know exactly what Miles Monroe meant when he said that. Truth be told, I don't. That's not in my algorithm anymore. But all in all, I respect your opinion related to religion. Any path that makes someone a better person, I'm with it. But some conversations I want to talk to you about, just talking. Every conversation with me, I can promise you, is not going to be religious. You know that about it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just not right.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I think at this point we'll go ahead and close out. It's been it's been an interesting episode. Maybe we'll go ahead and continue talking about relationships next week. Maybe we'll get into religion. Maybe we'll get back into politics. I don't know, depending on how you guys feel. But what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out for now. And thank you, listeners, for listening in. Again, as always, please feel free to drop us a word. DNA Hardwired. Common Sense Turned Upside Down. We have a Facebook page. Again, that's DNA Hardwired. Common Sense Turned Upside Down. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for joining in, listeners. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks for listening, guys.
Think it through, people.